Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shari Tallon, and I'm really excited to be interviewing Chris Birkett and talking about your highlights from 2022. Chris, what have you been up to this year?
A lot. So the first thing I want to say is Happy Christmas. I hope you had a great time, and I hope you have a wonderful 2023. But we're going to give you some highlights of what I've been up to last year. So the first thing I want to tell you about is a song that I wrote about the COVID situation, as we've all been going through that in the last 3 years. And the song talks about we're glad to be out of that, essentially. It's a kind of positive song. It's called 2022, and we released it earlier this year, and it got 31,000 YouTube views. So I think people got the message. So this is a bit
Fantastic. Yeah, can we hear a little bit of it?
Well, I'll just give you a little clip from it, okay? So this is it here. 2022. Forest fires were burning for sure.
Try to find the line, the right one for you. Think back to 2021. Didn't have a whole lot of fun. Never in the year 2022.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah, it's definitely a celebration. And I know, Chris, when I first met you, which is about 7 years ago, you had already produced so many of your own songs. And I found out that Music for World Peace Records released Wake Up.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Wake Up was released quite a while ago as a single, a few years ago when I actually wrote the song. Wake Up is a call to action song. It's essentially about corporate greed, the way that the things that are kind of causing us problems on this planet right now, and it's asking us to wake up and this world is made for everyone. That's one of the lines in the song. It's not just made for a few, elite few. It's made for all of us, So, but a friend of mine, Taylor Sapp, who has a label called Music for World Peace Records, he heard the song and he said, I really like it. It's a great message. And would you mind if I released it on my US label? And I said, yeah, let's go for it. So this was released, this year, or 2022. We're still in this year, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I think we got a little bit of a clip from that, haven't we? I believe.
Yes, and just while you're finding that, you originally wrote this on an album that you produced for yourself of your own songs called Be Creative.
Yeah.
So he must have found it off of that record or
Yeah,
CD.
well, in fact, I think he saw the video of the song, and the video was produced by my wife Joan Prowse, and she did a really good job on it. And he sort of really liked the message in the song. But the album itself is called Be Creative, and that was my debut Canadian album, which I made in 2012 when I first moved here.
Wow.
And it's the album's unique in that I managed to, even though I didn't know anybody when I came to Canada, I actually managed to find some awesome musicians to play on it. We got Rick Emmett from Triumph, played on a couple of tracks. He's a great guitar player. And we had also Glenn Milcham from Blue Rodeo, played on about 10 tracks, played drums for me. So and Fergus Hamilton played on it, Rosita Stone. There were some people I met, and I managed to pull these people together, and they guested on my album, so I was really happy about that. So I'll play you a bit of the clip of Wake Up, which is next, I think.
Sounds great.
We've been waiting so long just to give you the song. Hope it won't take too long before we wake up and know the truth. This world was made for all. From the past we have come to the future to learn. From the times we were wrong, we must know now where we belong. This world was made for all. Corporations take the soul of our nations. Politicians do just what they're told. Nobody is listening to our frustrations. We have been sold.
Oh, great song. And looking forward to seeing the whole video. And as you said, we're going to be sharing some links. So you also released a song in the summertime, Icky Cottage Blues.
In the summertime, we're in the not that one.
And I saw it's gotten over 20,000, I think 21,000 views.
Yeah, it's one of my pet projects. I've got a few things going. I've got the band called the Free Spirits with you, but I've also got this band which is a concept band called the Happy Campers. And the first release for the Happy Campers was this Icky Cottage Blues, and it's based on a true story. It was a cottage that me and Joan rented in one summer, and we got in there, and it was unbelievable. The carpet's all sticky. There's like dead mice in the drawers, and it's just a horrendous experience. But we thought it was really funny, so I thought let's do a song about it. Icky Cottage. And the good thing about this track is it was released last year, but I got a fabulous slide player to guest on it called Mike Nagoda, because I was doing an album with him, Mike Nagoda's blues band, and I loved the way he plays. So I said, well, can you guest on my record? And he condescended to join us. So I'm very happy with that. And so he's featured on this track. And it's a clip for you, but you can listen to the real thing later. I have to put my glasses on because I can't see the screen here. This is the part. So.
Things were bad when I unzipped my bag and a spider crawled right inside.
Oh no, a spider!
Even the mice were trying to be nice as they jumped in to hitch a ride. The sun was shining bright, but there was no light. It was darker than hell inside.
Where are the lights?
The walls and the ceiling needed some cleaning. It seemed since the dawn of time.
I think a lot of people can relate to that for sure.
Well, when you find yourself in a situation where you're having a holiday and you're not really enjoying it, then the best thing to do is grab a beer.
That's for sure. Speaking of holidays, although I know this wasn't more, I guess it was a working a travel trip for you in Iqaluit. So you went up to Iqaluit in October this year, and can you tell us a little bit about what you did up there?
Yeah, I met a guy called Thor Simonson who runs a label called Hitmakers out of Ottawa. And I met him at a songwriting workshop for Indie Week, funny enough, and he really liked what I was saying. So he said, I've got this label, and we work exclusively with Indigenous artists. He said, I'd like you to, meet some of them and, write songs with them and produce them. So they invited me up to Iqaluit in September, and it's really cold up there, even in September. And I spent a week or so up there and worked on a couple of albums that I'm working on. This Katu, who's a throat singer, she's signed to the label. That album's coming out next year. And also Angela Amarulik, who's her album's already released, and that's got some great songs on it. 4 of the songs are co-written with my daughter, May Birkett, so I'm really happy about that. So Angela was knocked out with May's music. She said, "Can I sing some of those songs?" I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And there's Joey Nauyuk. I'd done a whole arrangement for his new album, which is coming out. I did all the guitars and bass and drums and stuff. So it's and I'm working right at the moment. I'm mixing at this moment, not right this moment, but at this time, Joe Ellen, who's another Iqaluit artist. So I'm really happy. And they invited me out there, and then they had a big concert one Saturday night while I was up there called the New Pop Festival, featuring their new artists. Right? And Thor said, would you like to play some songs? I said, yeah, I'd love to. So I did a bit of a live show with my Wake Up song, and it went down really well, as you'll see on this clip.
It's time to wake up, wake up. It's time to wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. It's time to wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. It's time to wake up, wake up. Hey, wake up and know the truth. This world was made for. Wake up and know the truth. This world was made for everyone. Wake up and know the truth. Culture.
Ah, fantastic. Well, I also recently saw that you have a brand new single out called Hear the Angels Sing. And it's a beautiful song. I know you released it in time for Christmas. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, actually, Hear the Angels Sing was actually called Can You Hear My Children Pray? And I wrote that song when I was living in London when I was about 30 something. It was a long time ago. And the first line of the song, which is written then, is why does it take all my time to go out there and be someone? There's nothing left at the end of the line, nothing left for the ones that you love. And that was the situation I was in. I was the go-to producer in London. I was producing like Sinead O'Connor and Buffy Sainte-Marie and Bob Geldof. I was working constantly, but I had two young kids growing up, and I never saw them. I came back from South Africa once, producing a band called Mango Groove in South Africa, and came back and my kids were like forgetting who I was. They thought my engineer was their dad. And so I had a bit of a crisis. So what I did at that point, I had quite a lot of royalties coming in from my record productions. I actually bought a chateau in the south of France, built a studio, and I spent many years with my kids growing up, and they travelled all around the world with me. So it was a bad career move, but it was a really good move for my soul, and I'm glad I did that.
Yes, and this is such a beautiful song. I see you've got a beautiful sounding choir in this song.
Yes. Well, I went to Easter with my wife. We went to the only place we could find that was having public meetings was the West Plains United Church in Burlington. All the other churches were all Zoom, right? So we wanted to have a proper Easter, ceremony. And while I was there, they had a choir and also this great keyboard player. Her name's Leanne Tan, and she was playing this amazing organ. And I just loved the sound of the organ. So after the event, I went up and said, I love that organ. I'd love to record it on one of my songs. And I love your choir. Would you be into doing a song that I'm putting out called Hear the Angels Sing for Christmas? And they agreed to it. So that's what we did. So we recorded this wicked video. Yeah. So I'm going to play it to you. So this is part of it here.
Why does it take all of my time to go out there and be someone? There's nothing left at the end of the line, nothing left for the ones that you love. What happened to Charlie and the man who was happy for what he had done? I'll open my heart, talk to someone, 'cause I'll never find peace all alone. I can hear the angels sing, I can hear the angels sing.
Beautiful. Yeah, they are. That sound like angels singing.
This is live, folks. We're there to prove it.
Well, besides all your record production, your own releases of songs, you are featured on 2 documentaries this year. That's really exciting.
Yeah, there's 2 of the artists I've worked with in the past, and Sinead O'Connor, as most of you know, I co-produced I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got, her album. and which had the single "Nothing Compares to You." So anyway, Sinead, they did a documentary on her recently, and although they didn't really mention the single, Prince's family would not allow it to be played, apparently. So anyway, they did the documentary without just showing the number one hit, which is they mentioned it, but there are some photos of some footage of me in my studio in London, recording with Sinead. So I was only in my 30s, so I had some hair then.
As I can see the picture right up there.
Oops, this is back to front, right? So it's that picture. That's me and Sinead in my back alley outside of my studio in London. So, and after the session, I think, and then the other documentary which came out this year is a documentary called Carry It On by Buffy Sainte-Marie. It's the second documentary that's been made of her. The first one was made by Joan Prowse. It's called Multimedia Life. And but this second one just came out. It's been made by White Pine Pictures. They actually used some footage from the other documentary in this one, which is pretty cool. And there's a picture of me and Buffy just here with her band out in Hawaii. And I got to walk on they invited me as a VIP because I was in the documentary. Got to go to TIFF and walk on the red carpet. So that's that little thing down there. This one has me on the red carpet. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's so great. And it's so wonderful because as a producer, you have so much input on how the music sounds. And I know so many of the artists that you've produced, you are creating the songs, writing and arranging. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the artists in the Toronto area that you've been producing this year?
Yeah, I've been working with basically anybody that I feel that is in the music for the right reason. In other words, for the love of it, not for like stardom and money and all that stuff, which is the driving motive for a lot of artists. If I find an artist like that, I usually try and help them to realize their dreams, which is they call me the dream maker, because I play lots of instruments, and during COVID I was really quite busy because I'm a one-man band. I play bass, drums, guitars, keyboards, and vocals and all that stuff. So I didn't have to work in a team. So we had Donita Large, who is from Edmonton. She's an Indigenous singer, and she asked me to do a song. I did two songs for her actually. One's called "Ancestors in My Bones." That was a single. And then there was another. What was the other song called? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so "Reconciliation Sky" was the latest single, and we're going to play that for you later on. Just a sound clip from it, so you can hear it. So "Reconciliation Sky" was actually based on a lullaby that I wrote for my son in the 1980s. He was born in '83, and I used to play it on guitar. And it was a lullaby. It's a little baby, dry your eyes, go to sleep, far away your dreams will fly, go to sleep. And it was a really pretty little acoustic song, and it used to make him fall asleep all the time, which is great. So this song had been sitting around since the 80s, never released. I did an instrumental version on it for the Human Dolphin Institute, which is called Fifth Dimension, but it never came out as a song. So Donita came to Toronto, and we were working on tracks for a new album, and I played her that song because we were looking for something, and she said, "Wow, I've got some lyrics about truth and reconciliation. I want to put them in a song." As you know, it's a big theme now, truth and reconciliation with the Indigenous people of Canada. So I played her that song, and she sang "Reconciliation Sky" over this lullaby, and it came out really beautifully. So I'm very happy with that.
Yes, I love the track as well, and I saw her do a CBC interview about that in September. So it was a very powerful song.
Yeah, she's playing here in I think it's June or July, and I'm going to play guitar for her in a concert in Toronto. So
wonderful! Yes, can't wait to find out what's coming up for 2023. But as we continue with your 2022 highlights, would you like to share any of your other artists? I heard Lisa Hart. You did a song for her.
Yeah, Lisa's she's been in the music business a long time. She's a fabulous artist, and she asked me to do some tracks for her, and I want to mention that because I worked on some of her music. And there's a song called "Don't Tell Me How I Feel," which she wrote. It's kind of a projection on her. I think it's her brother who was having some mental health things, and it was a statement about what he was feeling, because people were telling him how he should feel and what he should do. So that song was. We're going to play a clip from that video, which is a really great song. So we wanted to feature that. And also, sadly, her husband died a couple of weeks ago. Actually, we're now in December, and before he died, he sold me his guitar. He's a guitar player. His name was Mickey Hart. And Mickey Spillane, his name was. That's right. So her name's Lisa Hart. He's Michael Spillane. And he sold me a 1980 Fender Stratocaster, Eric Clapton model, because he had arthritis. He couldn't play anymore. So he said, I'd like you to have this guitar because I know you're going to use it. So I've been using that guitar as my go-to guitar on all my gigs now, and recordings too.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Well, should we play a little bit of...
Reconciliation sky. What will your eyes let you see? Reconciliation sky. Orange sunset cast on me.
That was a little sound clip from Donita Large, Reconciliation Sky, and now I'm going to play you a little bit of the video from Lisa Hart. Here we go.
Running through the fields of summer in the golden sun, I had a kind of warning of the girl I'd become. That's the only girl you know, the shell that you see here. And now you're waiting for the day when I just disappear. When I was just a girl, I loved my family and my dog. Back then I didn't know I would end up in this fog. Don't judge me by the way I look, or by the words I use. Don't think you know my feelings till you walked a mile in my shoes.
You have
Nice.
to wait for the chorus, folks. He goes, "Don't tell me how I feel," but you have to listen to that on the full video. So.
Well, you've had an amazing year, and I'd like to find out, and you tell your fans what's coming up in 2023.
Well, we're not going to write a song called 2023 unless I change the words to 2022. But I got we have a lot of really interesting stuff coming up this year. One of the most interesting things is the next Free Spirits album. So, and that's going to be called, well, we were going to call it Heartbeat, but I think we changed the title to
We were talking.
Keep the Party Going.
Yeah.
Keep the Party Going,
Great song.
because Keep the Party Going is a great song, and it's about all this we're going through in society, like fake news and all that stuff that's happening. I've actually got a song called Fake News coming out as well next year. So what we're saying in that song is like, just party anyway, just enjoy yourself, because all this stuff's gonna happen anyway. Let's just get into it. And so we want to play you a little clip from a little little soundbite or a little small video from the Free Spirits, one of the songs which is coming out. It's called Follow Your Dreams, I believe, this one. And do you want me to say that any more about next year, or we can do that after the video, shall we?
Sure, sounds good.
Okay, so this is okay, folks. This is Follow Your Dreams live. We played this song at the Linsmore Tavern, so enjoy it. And if you want to hear more, just go to thefreespirits.ca. You'll hear it.
Be true to yourself and who you are. Believe in yourself and you'll go far. Well, come on, baby, what you gonna do? Follow your dreams, make them come true.
Coming up in 2023.
Well,
You can see we're not professional video editors.
well, this has been a fun interview, and I remember you playing me a song that you wrote and produced called Aphrodisiac, and it's quite different than any other song that I've heard. And now I hear it's coming out on a movie this year. How exciting!
Yeah, in fact, we're going to do a whole podcast about this song because there's a good story about how this song was born. I won't tell you on this video because this is just highlights of 2022. But the reason we're going to play Aphrodisiac, or a bit of it for you, is that it's just been picked up for a movie. It's coming out called Horde, Hoard, and this is my co-writer Barry Blue told me about this, and I'm quite excited that hopefully next year, I don't know how long it takes to do the movie, but it's going to come out soon, and it's going to reignite the interest because it's a unique song that I put together back in the 80s. I was the first person to use samples. I was a keyboard player and sample. I was one of the first people to actually get into sampling. I did the drums on Pyromania, which is a Def Leppard album with Mutt Lange, and that was on a Fairlight. So I couldn't afford a Fairlight. It was £60,000 to buy one. So the guy who owned the studio had one, John Congress. So I played around the drums on that song. But as soon as a sampler came on the market that I could afford, which is the Akai S950, I went to Rod Argent's Music in London, and I brought that sampler, and they gave me a floppy disk with it. And on that floppy disk was 2 drum loops, which is James Brown, funky drummer loop, and another one, I can't remember what it was, but I was so inspired by the groove, I just put this whole groove together, and then I put all these world music sounds. But we'll tell you more about this on another podcast because it's an interesting story. For now, I'm just going to play you a bit of the track. And the interesting thing about this song is it was released in the 80s. It kind of went into the UK charts quite low and then got dropped. It was disappearing. And then a DJ picked it up in Ibiza and started playing it. And it started a whole new groove called the Balearic beat. And so then it became like a #1 club hit for about a whole year. And Paul Oakenfold did it, and Fatboy Slim, Norman Cook did a remix, which is my favourite remix. And so I'm just going to play you a bit of the original Aphrodisiac. You can have a listen to it, and then go online and check out all the remixes. There's loads of remixes. It's amazing how many people remix that song. So,
It's a great dance song.
Iwola fish agba. Iwola fishing. Iwola fish agba. That's the deal. Yeah. Go ahead. Iwola fish agba. Iwola fishing.
We've got the
thank you so much for this wonderful podcast with your highlights of 2022. I'm really excited about the Free Spirits album, of course, because we've been working on the songs and they're wonderful. And I must say, working with you and watching you work has been an incredible joy and also a wonderful way for me to learn. Thank you once again. And I know you wanted to end this interview with one of your songs that you did release this year. Or no, this one hasn't been released.
In fact, it hasn't been released. I'm going to release it probably in 2023. It's called The Voice. And before I play this song, we're going to play off the show with this song, okay? I just want to say that if you want to hear my music and Free Spirits music, you go to chrisbirkettmusic.ca, that's my site, and the Free Spirits .ca, and your music is Shari Tallon Music.
Actually, Shari Tallon Performances .com. Yeah,
.com.
That's
Not
right.
.com.
I have a .com now.
For some, isn't it? I have to settle for a .ca. Anyway, have a wonderful 2023, and look out for what we're doing, because we're doing some fabulous stuff next year. Yes. You're gonna love it. So. And
I'm looking forward to so many of your songs. I know you were talking about releasing a new song maybe once every 2 months or so, and Everyone Deserves a Home. Is that one of the ones that you're going to be
coming out hopefully in January? That's a song about affordable housing, and there's a video being made right now for that song, and it's going to be listen to it, because it's really important that we look after our homeless people, so that's it.
And it goes to show you that really beautiful music really touches the heart, and we need that as humanity. We really need great music. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's the universal language of music, folks. We can't rely on our politicians to help us. We've got to help ourselves.
That's for sure.
All right. Take care. Good. Happy 2023. We love you.
I hear things that I don't like. I wonder if they are right. Will I walk away? Will I walk away from the light? I've been living every day of my life, trying to separate the truth from the lies. What is it that's buried here deep inside? And I finally realize I can't be there. All I had to do was follow the light. Light was coming from the voice deep inside. Doesn't matter what you think you're made of, there's nothing here for you to be afraid of. Listen to the voice, voice inside. Voice is talking to me, voice that I never see. Will I walk away? Will I walk away? I hear things that I don't know.